The planet that breaks what no longer holds. The one that doesn't ask for permission. The one they call the Great Awakener. Uranus. The force behind sudden change, disruption, rebellion against everything that once felt fixed. And now it has moved into Gemini and it will stay there until 2033. So, something is shifting, not slowly, not quietly, but in the mind, in the way we think, the way we speak, the way we decide what is true and what was never ours to begin with. Because Gemini doesn't hold, it moves, it questions, it disrupts what feels certain. And when Uranus moves through that space, it doesn't just change the world around us, it changes the way that we experience it. And as you listen to this now, I know you can feel that. The speed, the restlessness, the way your thoughts don't land the same anymore. Like something inside of you is waking up and it's done staying quiet. And it's not just internal. We see it in the world. I saw something the other day and it stayed with me longer than I expected, and I was more impressed also than I thought I would be. Mothers, Israeli and Palestinian mothers, walking together, not shouting, not arguing, not trying to be heard. And I get chills just walking hand in hand. And as I looked at that clip and I saw the way that they moved, there was something about it. It was so composed, so elegant, so graceful, so painfully loud, yet so silent in action. I saw two on the timer. Thank you so very much. But seeing those mothers walking hand in hand, so composed, so painfully elegant, it did something to me because that wasn't weakness. We are learned as a society that it is weakness to not shout and to not choose violence, but what they did was so powerful. That was grief. That refused to turn into hate. That was love. Standing in a place where everything around it tries to break it. Because to them, this isn't political. The ones being sacrificed are their children. And when you really let that land in your system, maybe you can't look at the world the same way anymore. At least I couldn't. Because at the same time, in other places of the world, we see something else happening. We see restrictions tiring. I saw 11:11 on the timer. Wow. We see restrictions tightening, control, rules shifting, laws being pushed. And this brings me to my family in Australia, my 5% who are standing in the eye of this storm. I want I want you to put down, if I can ask you this, I want you to put down whatever you're holding for a second. Just feel your feet on the earth. Can you feel that? Because something is shifting in the collective field, and it's not just news. It's an invasion of the soul, and I don't think that I have to tell you about, but I need to tell the rest of my listeners this. So here we go. I've been hearing about this proposed law. Let's call it what it is, a glitch in the human contract. The idea that anyone above 15 years old, a child basically still finding their own frequency, can be plucked from their life, questioned in the dark, and handed back to you as a stranger, a shadow, and the cherry on top, the gag order. Imagine that silence. The doorbell rings. Your heart leaps with a relief that feels like a physical punch. But when you look into your child's eyes, you see a locked soul. They are physically there, but their voice have been harvested. You can't ask and they can't tell. This isn't just a policy, this isn't just science fiction. This is an attempt to sever the most sacred high vibration bond on this planet. The truth between a parent and a child. It's so fucking crazy, right? It feels like the world is shrinking into a cage. But this is where Uranus, the planet of the sudden raw revolution, steps in. Uranus asks us what happens to our minds when the external world tries to bolt our jaw shut. It forces a revolution inwards. When they try to control what we say or how we protect our lineage, they always start with the body. Look at the suppression of moringa. Like as a little side note, by the way, to all my Australians out there, I heard they are banning moringa. Sorry, I can't. They are suppressing moringa. I think all of my Indians out there, maybe it's a little bit stereotypical, but I think all of my Indians out there are like, or my Asians are like shaking their heads, like, what is this? Like, they claim unknown dangers about a plant that has been a miracle tree for thousands of years. I can't with this information. And I'll be very honest to you. I use moringa every single day. Moringa is my ally. It keeps my field clear. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not an Ayurvedic, how you call it, doctor. But as long as you don't take heavy medication, like heart medication, medication that metabolizes the liver, medication for high blood pressure, medication for, I think, diabetes and thyroid medication. I believe you're safe. Please do your own research on this. I'm not in any way, shape, or form a learned doctor or learned Ayurvedic doctor. I just tell my own experience. So please, if you take any of this medication and you want to use it or to try it out, please go talk to an Ayurvedic doctor. They always know best. Yes? Okay, thank you. But for me, that weekly, daily ritual, basically of moringa tea, is a reclamation. They want you dependent, they want you scared, they want you to believe the cage is the only place that you're safe. But health is the first act of rebellion. When you own your own body and you own your own health, you become a frequency they can tune. The tighter they grip, the more we must expand. We don't need a law to tell us that our voice is ours. We don't need permission to be sovereign. Ask yourself tonight in the quiet, if the world went silent tomorrow, would my soul still know how to scream? I'm not here to tell you what to think about that. But I am here to say this. When the external world starts controlling expression, the internal world doesn't stay quiet. It pushes back, not always loudly, but persistently. A thought that won't leave us alone, a question that suddenly feels unavoidable, a feeling that something isn't right anymore. And that's where rebellion actually begins. Not in the chaos, not in destruction, but in awareness. In the moment we realize that we've been repeating something that never felt true in the first place. And something in us is no longer willing to cooperate with that. So, if you've been feeling the speed lately, the mental shifts, the intuitive spikes, you're not imagining it. You're adjusting to a frequency that doesn't allow unconscious repetition anymore. And as we move back into our world today, let's carry this one thing with us. They can only cage what we agree to hide. Uranus is here to shake the foundations, yes, but it's also here to show us exactly what is unshakable within us. Whether you're in Australia standing in in that eye of the storm or anywhere else on this map feeling the squeeze, remember that our frequency is your own. Your frequency is your own. Your body is your temple. Your voice is your birthright. Take that tea, walk that path, speak the truth that makes your heart beat faster, because the more they try to dim the collective light, the more vital it is that we stay tuned to our own. If this resonated with your field today, I saw 11 1 and 3 3 3 3 on the timer. If this resonated with your field today, share it with someone who needs to remember their own power. We are the frequency, the seekers, the truth speakers, the ones who see the shadows and choose to walk through them anyway. So stay grounded, stay sovereign, and above all, stay truthful. Please, if you feel called to share anything in the comments about what you feel, about what you think, anything is okay, or maybe just a unicorn emoji to show that you are a member of this frequency. I love you all so very much. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next frequency. This was Nix. This was the next frequency. Bye.